Hello, good morning, and I want to welcome you guys. Today, what we're going to be doing is setting up. We're going to install from scratch FreePBX onto a virtual container. Virtualization has become a big part of IT world today, and we're going to step through and we're going to do the expert install here, which it's a manual install, and we're going to be installing this on Ubuntu 18.04, the long-term support release. You can find the manual FreePBX install instructions at wiki.freepbx.org. That's what we'll be going along with today and stepping through. And ultimate goal is to get a working container application going, running FreePBX. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm not going to go through and step through any process on installing Linux containers. You can check out some of my previous videos on installing that. If you have any questions, just hit me up. We're going to go in. I've previously installed this to my machine, and what we're going to do is we're going to install. Let me see. I think I got the previous command in here. Ignore all of that. LXC. This. And I think that's it. I might be wrong. Oh no. What did I type in there before? Might not have typed that in here anywhere. So let me look that up and see what that is. LXC list. So I've actually got one running now, but let me take a look at that command. Sometimes I always forget, so good thing you got Google here. Google's a good friend. LXC. Okay. Where are you at? Blah blah blah. Okay. And where were you at? Oh, that's what it is. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and let me stop this. I'm gonna recreate one from scratch here. So let's say LXC stop and at PBX. Okay, then we want to say LXC delete PBX test box. Okay, so let's go ahead. This is going to be a Ubuntu based install. So LXC launch images. I think that's it. Oh, where did I type that in? Images. We want Ubuntu launch So that's going to create our image. There we go. So now LXC list. Alright, so there's our FreePBX running. And what we want to do is get onto this machine. So we're going to say LXC what is that command? Execute console, right? Yeah, that's what we want, yeah. LXC execute. We want free. Alright, there we go. So we're on our machine. So, okay, there's our IP. So I'm gonna, so just for purposes, I'm gonna set a password on here for my root. I don't know if one's been set. I didn't make any configuration adjustments, so let's do that. Alright, so we've changed that just to feel warm and fuzzy, and now we're going to go ahead and step through our FreePBX manual configuration. So we said we want this, we're going to do a stable release, which is the 14.0, and we want the ubuntu 18.04 install. So we're going to step through the initial setup here and do a few things here. First thing you want to do is you want to log in as root or switch to root. Once that's done, so what we got here? So to do so, you need to enable permanent root login and SSH. Okay, so let's do that. First set of instructions here to do, and just to keep from doing a lot of manual typing, you'll see me do a lot of copying and pasting in here. So let's hit that, which is good, and we want to restart our SSH daemon. So we want to system restart SSHD. Perfect. There we go. All right. So they said we need to check if your system's buggy here. So this is an issue with Ubuntu 18.04 installing correctly. See the ticket for more information. Run grep backports to make sure. Okay, so let's do that. I can grab the now let's go here and paste that in here. What do we got here? What is that going to give us? Okay, so if it did not return anything, you need to run. Okay, so we got some returns back, so that's good. Alright, so perfect. Let's go ahead and we're going to update our system as instructed here. So we have to add the PHP 5.6 repository, so we're going to do that, copy, add repository PPA. Right, let's go and we're going to paste that in here. Perfect. Looks good. And after that, after the repository is added, let's go ahead and we're going to run this update upgrade command. So that's done. Looks good. Okay. So we're going to apt get update and upgrade. Perfect. So let's move on down. We want to next portion of this, we're going to be installing some dependencies. Okay, several here. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of copying and pasting because me personally, I don't want to type all of this in. So let's copy. I would suggest you do the same thing. So once this is done doing its upgrade, we'll do the okay, that's done. Let's go ahead and we're going to paste this all in. Okay, and we'll hit enter. Let that do its deal. So it's telling us that as part of the install, you probably will be asked a few times for MySQL password. It's part of the manual install. It says don't set one at this point. So your machine will automatically generate a secure password later in the install. So don't worry about that. You probably will get prompted to do some email things here. We'll probably bypass that for right now because we're not doing, this is just going to be a basic install. I'm not going to go in and configure email for like email communication, anything, updates and things like that. So we'll let that do its thing. Shouldn't be too much longer here, so I probably should have like some Jeopardy music so y'all can hear like while just to kill some time. Uh, so all right, so here we're at. This is the part where I was mentioning to you about doing the email setup. I'm gonna say no configuration. I'm not initially gonna do any email setup, smart host, anything like that. This is just gonna be a straightforward install, so I can walk you guys through doing this, so we can get up a working Asterisks PBX, free PBX on our container. So we'll do that. It's gonna, we're configuring packages at this time. If you want to go take you a bathroom break, grab your little cup of coffee, that wouldn't be a bad thing to do. I'm not gonna be mad at you. Now we'll be mad if you don't come back. You know, doing a lot of these installs it takes a process, so you know, just bear with us. We should be getting close here. And while you're sitting there waiting, if you're just waiting on this to finish, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, share button. Leave any comments or questions in the comment field down below. You know, running this is it's been the technology's been around for a while. You know, moving or migrating to containers is um, it's one of these things that you think, well, do you want to do it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I will tell you, it's you'll save a lot in resource consumption. Um, it'll cut down power usage. If you don't have to use as many machines. And for me, the biggest thing is resource consumption. If you're running several virtual machines that you can consolidate down to a container, I highly recommend you give it a try. Okay. So there were a lot of dependencies to install. So don't you guys don't drift off on me. I wanted to record each of the steps so you can see. I didn't want to movie magic through anything. So you can walk through and see these things actually happening, and where you might run into errors if we do run into errors. So this is it's what testing things out. It's what it's all about. Sometimes you gotta dive in and work through the problems. But isn't life like that? So let me take a look on some of these steps here. It's really not. There aren't many steps. It's just going through the process. Okay, looks like it's done there. So that's where are we at on our steps here. So we done that. Next step in the manual install process is install Node.js. So let's get this here. We're going to copy this command line here, and bam, hit that in there. Looks good. Okay, and we'll copy the actual install command. Alright, looks good. Alright, there we go. Run. This is the command we'll need to run, which is fine. Install Node.js. Let's get that in there. Bam. And there we go. So, and basically, setting up virtual containers. Everybody talks about this cloud thing. I mean, that's essentially what you're doing. If you have an interest in maintaining control over your own infrastructure, your own data, your own environment, um, without having to invest in multiple pieces of hardware to run, different servers or different applications, you can consolidate all this down to one. So we've got that, and okay, that's installed. The next step is says fix permissions for the Asterisks user. So there's a few lines here we have to plug in. We'll start here. Okay, that first line is the user add and asterisks. Okay, good. Your user already exists, so perfect. Now we want to change owner, asterisks. these are a lot of lines. I thought I was going to type it in, but I probably should just let's copy and just so we can work through this pretty quickly. Now, please keep in mind now this is I haven't run through this completely myself, so what you see is what you're going to get here. So if we run into errors, we'll try to work through them. If not, the ultimate goal, like I said, is for us to get a working Asterisks appliance here running with FreePBX. So our next line is that one. Looks good. Let's grab the other one here. And our employee, don't skip over any of these steps either. Very important. Otherwise, you more than likely will run into problems. Okay, now the next line. Okay. Right. And our very last line here. Copy that. I'll paste that line in there. Alright, so we've done that. Straighten asterisk permissions. Our next step is to remove any sample config files left over and fix errors. Okay. Alright. These are security. There are security vulnerability. Oh no, it says there are a security vulnerability and must be removed. These are security vulnerabilities, I should say, must be removed before installing FreePBX. There's also an incompatibility in the Ubuntu supplied asterisk config which needs to be fixed. Okay, so these next two lines will supposedly correct that. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna copy and paste. Copy paste. Copy paste. Alright, so perfect. And let's go to the next line. Oh, I think I got that here. So said, okay, so yeah, I look like I got both of those. Bam, bam. Alright, so now we want to update. Next step is update Asterisks. Update Apache configuration. So we're going to grab this first line. We'll copy, paste that in. Alright, looks good. We didn't get anything throwing us back, so we want to take this, copy this next line. Copy. Okay. You can use the keyboard or the mouse, either or. Sometimes I find it quicker just to right click on the line of text that I want and copy that and then paste it over. Go back here, Shift Control V if you're a keyboard person. Copy that in there, hit that. Okay, now next to here we're gonna Apache 2 mod rewrite. So we want to say A2E in mod rewrite. Okay, so to activate new configuration, you need to restart. So we want to say system ctl restart Apache so done. Alright, so done that. Our next step is going to be to fix PairGetup compatibility issues. So the standard PairGetup uses each, which is depreciated in PHP 7. This simple patch fixes it. So this will fix that. For install, let's go ahead, we'll copy that, paste that line in, bam, that's done. Alright, so next step, install MySQL ODBC connector. This is used for the CDRs, that's the call detail reporting. So let's go ahead, that's our next step, download and install package. So first thing is we're going to make a directory in the user library location. Let's control V's. Okay, got that. Next, let's go ahead and I'm going to grab this. So download what we need. Did I do that right? Oh, hold on. I left the next line out, didn't I? I sure did. So be careful of that. Let's go back. I'm gonna hit Control C. That'll cancel out what we just did. Let's paste that back in. Alright, there we go. Alright, so done what we did there. Our next step, configure ODBC. Note this assumes you haven't previously configured ODBC on this machine. If so, you'll need to manually add the required data. Alright, so we're going to grab this and what this is, this is going to concatenate into this file this information. Into that location. Perfect. Okay, let's get the next one, which is this one. And what this does is it adds or appends this information by concatenate and then hitting that over arrow. It'll append this information into this file, this configuration file, INI file. So let's copy that. Go here, we'll paste this in there. Okay, that is done. Let's move on to our next step, and we're almost done actually, which is download and install FreePBX 14. So first thing is we got to change to our source directory, which is user source change. Let's go there. Next step is we are going to download the FreePBX tar file using wget. We're going to paste that line in there, hit enter. I'm going to blow this screen up here. I don't know why I didn't do that before. Alright, so that's done. And next thing in this phase is we're going to extract our FreePBX tar file. Go here, let's paste that in there. Okay, that's done. Now we want to change to our FreePBX directory. Hit the wrong ls. Okay, let's clear our screen. Let's clear up some stuff here. Alright, so, and the next thing is we're going to run the install, which is // install space -n. All right, we're going to let that rock and roll. She's going to do her thing. If you haven't done so, this might be another good time to take a coffee break, bathroom break, and come back with us here in a few minutes. We're going to keep the party rolling though, keep the screen going, and that way, if you miss anything, you can always come back and replay, so you can see what's going on, what's happening here. If you haven't done so, please hit the like, share, subscribe button. Any questions or comments, please leave them down below in the comment field. Alright, that was pretty quick. So if you just now getting back with us, we just downloaded and installed the FreePBX 14 stable version. We're working on a Linux container environment, trying to get this up and running here. So we at this point we've actually completed the installation. Okay, so at this point I think we're done. Let me see. Let's see here. Let me see. IF config. So let's give it a shot here. Let's see if this manual install worked for us. And folks, there you go. There you have it. So it's pulled us up. It's welcome to FreePBX Administration. I don't know if both my screens are being shared out, or you can see on the video here, but let's I'm gonna drag it over here. So I plugged in my IP address of my container. We can walk through because there may be some additional things we need to adjust. So let's go ahead and we'll put in username. We're going to say PBX admin, and we're going to give her a password. Okay. And email. Account, and this is the pop-up. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. So let's go ahead and log in with our newly created account. And there we go. So we are in. Here's our FreePBX running from our virtual container. As you can see, there's a few things here. You can go in here and these are mainly alerts to alert you of a few things. If you click out of these essentially go away. But here, as you can see, we have our basic. This is our basic system setup running on our FreePBX. This is running in a virtual container. So imagine, having your DHCP. You've got your VoIP server here running, appliance. You can go in here and make your adjustments, configure your trunk lines, and all the additional settings here. I'm not going to go in and do any configuration in the detail. There's a lot of documentation out there on configuring FreePBX, but this has been pretty straightforward. Like I said, you have to follow the manual instructions to the T. And if you do so, here you'll have a up and working and running um, free PBX Asterisks server, which you can use as a VoIP gateway, uh, configure your own trunk lines, this and that. Yeah, the updating, there'll be manual updating, so you have to go and make sure your system is up to date. You go in here and run your manual updates. You also can go to the from the interface. You can go into the admin and module admin, and this is where you can actually go in, check online. Um, you can install additional modules. So you could go here to see I could run check online, and here it'll show you all the additional modules that are available, which you from there can go in, click, and configure and tweak your asterisk box the way you want it. This has been a pretty awesome video. I hope you guys got something out of it. Um, didn't take very long. Um, like I said, if you follow the manual instructions to the T, uh, you shouldn't have any issues. Like I said, if you like the video, please hit the like, share, subscribe button. Don't hesitate, leave your comments and questions in the comments field below. Uh, I hope you like the video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Keep it real. Peace and love. I'm out. Talk to you soon.